Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. For today's video, as you can see, we'll be choosing my TBR for March. I really don't understand how it is March already. I feel like this year is just flying by, but that's okay because we are going into my favorite seasons, which are spring and then summer. I love these seasons because I get to go out and lay by the pool with a book and get back in the water. I really love I'm able to spend more time in the sun and in the water. So hopefully there are some good prompts that we are able to pull that are kind of in the season and kind of fit that theme of reading by the pool, because I do have some good options for reading by the pool, and that is definitely something I want to start doing more often coming up as it's getting warmer. But let's just go ahead and get started and start pulling some prompts. I don't know if you're able to really see my whole cart, but I will be choosing books from all three shelves. The bottom shelf is just mostly hardbacks, and they just gotta stay down there because they're so big and I don't have enough room for them anywhere else. But these are like my priority reads, and then these are like my secondary priority reads. And then like I said, I have the hardbacks down there. So let's just go ahead and start pulling some prompts and see what we get. I guess I should shake it up a little bit. The first prompt I got is a yellow cover. So I do have a few yellow covers. As you can see, I have the 7-Year Slip. I have the Rosie Project. So these are going to be the two options. This one is definitely more yellow than this one. This one's kind of orange. Now that I'm looking at these next to each other, this one is definitely way more orange than yellow. And this one has been on my TBR for so long. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this one for the yellow cover and give it a shot. I'm gonna stick the prompts in it and then we can go over it at the end. And I don't know if I said this, but I'm only choosing 5 prompts because I feel like that's all I can handle this month is 5 books. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose the next one. The second one I got is Prettiest Cover I Own. I feel like this one may be a little easy because I buy a lot of books based off of the cover, unfortunately. The book I had in mind for this actually wasn't on my cart. It was on my nightstand because I want to start reading this like immediately. But for the prettiest cover, I'm going to go ahead and choose this version of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I have been wanting to read Little Women since I was a kid, and I feel like I am ready for it. It's always been a little chunkier than I was ready for, and the writing was always a little too hard for me to comprehend. But I really feel like I'm ready for it, and I just love this copy that I have of the book, and throughout it there are even little pictures with color and everything. So yeah, this one definitely is the prettiest cover I own, and I definitely want to read this one this month. I feel like March is a great month to read Little Women. I just feel like the vibes are there for it. So let's go ahead and choose prompt number 3. Reread of an old favorite. Okay, this one is a bit tricky. I'm not the biggest fan of rereading books, even if it's like a 5-star, 6-star read for me. I have so many books on my TBR, and there's so many books that I have on my radar that I would rather read, but this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and just to kind of challenge myself and see if there's anything I missed in certain books that I did really enjoy. This option is not going to come from my TBR cart, it's going to come from my bookshelves. So I am going to try to find an old favorite that I can reread. So I am going to go ahead and take a gander at my shelves and see if there's an old favorite that I actually do want to read, because even though I don't ever reread books on like a personal basis, I think this is a great opportunity for me and a great excuse for me to reread an old favorite. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at my bookshelves and see which of my favorite books I want to give a reread, and hopefully it is still a favorite book by the time I finish it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. This is what I ended up choosing, and let me explain. I haven't read this book since like 2023, I believe, and Lynn Painter is one of my favorite young adult authors, and I just remember when I read this book, I was so taken away and so caught up in the moment of this book that I felt like I was back in high school. Like, I'm not even joking. This book gave me so many feelings, and I just feel like I'm actually willing to reread this one, and it won't take too much brain power for me to do so. I'm really excited to reread this. I feel like it'll be a good time, and I feel like I'll be able to pick up on stuff that I didn't pick up on the first time around, even though there's not much to it. You know what I mean? Did I stick the prompt? Okay, prompt number 4. A random book from the library. Okay, so we'll have to make a trip to the library. I'm gonna skip this one for a second and jump to prompt number 5, and then we'll take a quick trip to the library. So prompt number 5. A continuation of a series. Okay, I really wanted this one because I am in the middle of so many series, and I plan on making a video in March about continuing series. So that's just perfect if a continuation of a series is on my TBR for March. So that works out perfect for that video, with this being on my TBR. But I am in the middle of a lot of series right now. The one that I have in mind specifically is The Ballad of Never After, which is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. This one I've heard is the best out of the series in general, but this book kind of fell a little flat for me, and I didn't really care to pick this one up right away. So I will definitely need like a recap of the first book, but I do love Stephanie Garber's writing, and I just love how whimsical and magical her writing is. So I'm sure I will love this one, and I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long, but I am definitely excited. Okay, so let's do a quick little recap. For the first prompt, we have a yellow cover. We're doing The Rosie Project. And then for the prettiest cover, we are doing Little Woman. Oops. For Reread an Old Favorite, we are doing Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. And then we need to go to the library and pick out a random book. I don't know if I want to do fantasy, romance. I think I'm going to do fantasy because I don't have much fantasy in here. But this should be fun. I haven't been to the library in quite some time, so that should be a fun trip. And then the last one is a continuation of a series, and then I chose The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This one I think I am the most excited for, to be honest, because I just want to get back into Stephanie Garber's writing. Even though I didn't really enjoy the first book that much, I feel like once I get into this one, it'll start to make a little more sense for me. But those are the 4 options I have right now. Then let's just go ahead and go to the library and pick out our last book. So let's go.